Well, hello everyone. I'm here with Dani Meier. She is the VP of Artistic Administration at the Omaha Symphony. Dani, good to see you again.
Nice to see you too, Andy. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's been a while. And with that being said, I'm really excited. I get your emails and whatnot, but what is new at the Symphony, the Omaha
Oh my
Symphony?
gosh, so many things. We are celebrating our 100th season anniversary, which is just huge for us. And we're able to have in-person concerts. I can't tell you how great that feels to have the orchestra in the hall and to have our audience at the hall. It just feels really great to play for people. We started back up in January. And not only are we celebrating our 100th and playing for people at the Holland, it's our music director, Maestro Thomas Wilkins. It's his final season with the symphony and the preparation for our new music director, Maestro Ankush Kumar Bahel's first season next season. So we have like all the things happening at the same time. It's a really good time to be with the Omaha Symphony.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I remember talking about your 100th year like 3 years ago. And I can't remember if I was with you, but I was with a couple people from the symphony sitting at Crane Coffee, and I mean, it seemed like it was so far away. And
also, I mean, time feels very much like a social construct right now. I know, but we started preparation years ago, and so it feels very odd to be in the midst of it. To know that it actually, we are celebrating it. But it also feels really great to see some of our plans come to fruition.
Yeah, because for sure, because I know, I mean, the plans definitely had to change last year. Just a little bit. So let's talk about that. So what, so you talked about a few things, let's look at over the next few months, what's going on? How can we be a part of this and contribute and enjoy?
The great silver lining is that we are still celebrating with the people and the musicians that make us what we are. And that's Omaha. So we still get to play for our city, our community. And that to us is a huge celebration all on its own. But we're also inviting a lot of friends in, friends that are important to Maestro Wilkins, friends that are important to us. And those people are like Branford Marsalis, who's coming in June. Joshua Roman, Omaha's favorite cellist. Brian Stokes Mitchell is coming in May. He's going to sing with the orchestra. Pink Martini is coming back. I mean, these are like Omaha Symphony staples that just allow us to really feel like we're putting this great big bow on a year where we've had to be really innovative, but we've also been so proud to be that innovative, frankly. So it feels good to kind of bring these people together to not just celebrate us, but also to celebrate our maestro, to send him off in the right way.
Right. So like, what's the last performance?
His final performance with us will be with Branford Marsalis playing alto saxophone. So that is the second week of June. We are really stoked because Branford's going to be performing a concerto by John Williams. So if you know and love John Williams, his Star Wars soundtracks, Indiana Jones, he also wrote fantastic traditional, quote unquote, traditional classical music. And he wrote a bunch of concertos for people that he loved. And Branford happens to be one of them.
Yeah. So you're allowing people into just to see it live.
Yes.
And is there also still that virtual component?
Yes, there is. We are really working really hard to put our first digital episodes, you could call them, up online, especially in education. Our education, Director of Education, Liz Kendall-Weiser, has been working her buns off. And I'm so excited for educators and teachers and anyone who has kids at home to see the project that she's been heading along with our resident conductor, Ernest Richardson, who have created our Mission Imagination, our Celebrate Creativity, and our Concerts for Youth will be filmed in a couple weeks, actually, all to be digitally available, virtually available and I think any educator who wants to use them.
Yeah. And I kind of see too, when you look at the chaos and the challenges of the pandemic and COVID-19, there are some things like creating these digital platforms and these virtual platforms that weren't there before and potentially, you know, wouldn't have been created if it wasn't for this. And this to me will carry on for years and years, I mean, decades to come.
I think another silver lining of this whole thing is that the symphony has an incredible education program. Mm-hmm. We've always had an incredible education program. And now we've been kind of forced to make it virtual, to find a way of capturing it so it's not simply a live performance, but something that can last and be available for an extended period of time for educators and anyone with kids. And I kind of appreciate that we've had to take that tip.
Yeah.
You know, we've had to do it because digital things are things that we've talked about as speculative in the past. And then the moment the pandemic began, it's like, all right, how do we do this? How do we do it right?
Yeah.
And how do we do it well?
Yeah. And also I feel like, I mean, you can reach so many more people.
Yes.
Yeah. Your reach, I think just, quadruple is not even the right number. It can, you know,
it's, you know, I love when we hear from people who travel in from like Grand Island and Kearney who come to see us, but of course they can't do that every weekend.
Sure.
You can't bus a school bus of kids in from Kearney every time we have an education program. I know that's hard. So to me, it feels kind of great to like, that's okay, sit tight, because we're going to come to you and we can be in your classroom. That feels amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit, because I'm looking at, you know, my notes over here. How, you know, keeping the musicians safe, keeping the patrons and the community safe during this time.
Yes. So we are super fortunate to work with Omaha Performing Arts, who of course owns the Holland. And so what we've done is we've concentrated on the orchestra safety, and Omaha Performing Arts concentrates on the patron safety. So when you come see us perform at the Holland, everyone's wearing masks. They have contactless tickets. Everything is super safe. It feels really good. And as a symphony musician and staff member, I really appreciate that when I look out in the hall, because it feels like we're all on the same page, which I really love. And then on the orchestra side, all of our string and percussion players are masked 24/7. Some of us are now doing the double mask, which takes a little bit of getting used to, but actually, unless you fog up your glasses, you're actually not in too bad a shape. And then our wind and brass players have had to get creative, but they're doing awesome with it. Our brass players have bell covers. So it's an actual physical cloth that goes on the end of their instruments, which prevents particles from coming out the top or the side. And then our wind players also have special masks that allow them to put their reeds on their mouthpieces in, or they have, like the flute players have this thing called the wind defender, which goes right across their mouthpiece. So essentially they're blowing into a contained unit as opposed to across the surface. So it was fascinating, because the moment this started, every orchestra that could do a study was like, all right, I'm on it. What do we need? What do we need to know? How do we measure it? It's been a really worldwide effort to make sure that we can still play music. And I think we've done a great job.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to take so many different things into consideration, especially with an orchestra. But what I love and what so many people are doing is, you know, to not do it is not an option. And it's just figuring it out how to move forward, because the symphony and everything you can provide, you know, and also, you know, the education piece is huge. Our community needs that. Not have it is just, I can't even imagine. So
we can't either. And I can't tell you how grateful we are for our orchestra and our staff, because at no point did anyone say, I can't do it. It's too hard. Everyone instead said, okay, I got to look at this for a second, but I can figure this out. We can figure this out. It's been a tremendous team effort. And I think that's what has kept us playing since the fall. Frankly, we've done a great job of getting back in the hall and staying there.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the concerts coming up, but I just want to dive in a little. Like, so what's the next concert coming up? Let's talk about the next few concerts coming up.
Okay, so this weekend, Valentine's Day is our music director designate's first return back to Omaha as our designate. And so he's going to be conducting a program of Mendelssohn and Sibelius, which is so full of joy, hyper romantic music. It's lovely. And then the weekend after, we have Disney in concert around the world. So it's Disney clips from your favorite Disney movies. It's actual video on the big screen while the orchestra plays the scores underneath them. We have another returning conductor, an Omaha favorite, Stilian Kirov. He was here last doing a Masterworks, and he's technically taking what was a Jocelyn program and turning it into another Masterworks, but he's featuring Omaha's own Christy Zuniga on piano. And if you know piano in Omaha, you've heard Christy Zuniga. She's our principal pianist, and she's phenomenal. We have a couple chamber programs coming up down the pike. So our second one is early March, that's March 12th. It's going to feature Bach and Mozart and Martinu, and our concertmaster, Susanna Perry-Gilmore, and principal flute player, Maria Harding. And the last concert through March is Joshua Roman, our favorite cellist, is coming back to Omaha to play the Saint Saëns. I think this is his 5th time in Omaha. We can't resist inviting him back.
And are these available virtually?
We are going to be capturing parts of each of these.
Got it. Okay.
Making them available eventually. But I will say there are still tickets available for all of them. Even though the hall, we're keeping it at 30% capacity to keep us as safe as possible. But look for tickets, because I bet there's still some left. You can come see us in person and experience it live.
So when will you be announcing the season for next year?
We are,
the 2021-22 year.
Yeah, we're working on that now. So we're hoping to have that announcement out later in the spring.
Okay. Yeah. And I would love to reconnect with you back when that announcement's made, and we can really kind of dive into that and look at that as well.
We're super excited because that's, of course, our new music director's first season out. So it's a big project of love for him.
So what are some other exciting things on the horizon?
I think we have one of the most exciting things we could bring to Omaha, and that's our Michael Daugherty Commission celebrating the city of Omaha and the Omaha Symphony. That's going to be on our final Masterworks concert of the year.
Okay.
And he wrote it. We commissioned him. So we said, we want you to write this. He worked with Maestro Wilkins. He came to Omaha. He spent a weekend traveling the city and he's been here before. He really likes it. He just wanted to remember and soak things up. And I'm super pumped. We've heard a what we call a MIDI recording. So it's an electronic recording of the composition, and it's unbelievable. It's going to highlight every member of our orchestra, and I can't wait to kind of sink our teeth into it so we can hear it live. Learning this piece of music that's totally new to us, but that was designed for us. It's just such a neat. Yeah, huge project. Super excited for that.
And when is that? Tell me the date again on that.
I believe that's June 11 and 12. Should be a Friday, Saturday in June. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we'll keep people posted. I mean, and would love to have an interview as that gets closer. So
absolutely. Yeah.
For so many people, if not all people, but so many people that love the arts and love what you do, how can we support you right now?
If you're not comfortable coming to a concert yet, and that's okay, then keep an eye on us online. Keep checking back, because we're going to be releasing a lot of digital content really soon, and we want you to see what we're up to. And I think just keep supporting your local artists and your local musicians. Check in on us, see if there's a project you feel really strongly about that you'd like to donate. And just get really excited about next season, because we all feel like we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're so excited we're always excited to make music, but we're always excited to kind of look forward and see where the positives are. So the more we can all be on that together, I think the better.
Well, Dani, your excitement and your energy is contagious, because regardless of what's going on, I mean, I can just feel the high vibrational energy just kind of pouring from you about everything going on at the Omaha Symphony. So I just want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. We feel very lucky to have our jobs and to make music, and it's a great time to be in Omaha, great time to be part of the Omaha Symphony.
All right. Well, wonderful. And I will definitely be checking in with you in the next month or two. So,
awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll be right back.